I'm Shae Russell from mining.com.au and I'm coming to you once again from the Noosa Mining Conference. Standing next to me is a man I've long read but never had the chance to meet in person, and that is James Cooper, the editor of Diggers and Drillers. James, it's great to finally meet you. How are you?
Great to be here. Thank you, Shae, for inviting me along.
Oh, okay. Now let's talk rocks and stocks. Now, for everybody who doesn't know a lot about James, James is actually a former geo and he's turned to the dark side of investment analysis. Now, before we get into what's on your radar, what are we seeing in the macro backdrop for mining?
Alrighty, so I don't know how deep we should go into the weeds here, but we've seen a bit of a pullback in things like gold, copper prices, so they have been weak. What I did say to my readers, so diggers and drillers, back in August, September, that wasn't necessarily a time to panic. We remember the China iron ore prices, the big iron ore miners were pulling back. Then, of course, the stimulus happened, but now the stimulus is not really living up to the big expectations that the market had a few weeks ago. So I think a key thing to watch here is imports into China. So things like iron ore, copper, are the imports still strong? And that should give you a sort of tangible evidence. Okay, commodity demand is not going to go anywhere just because the stimulus packages may not be as big as everyone's hoping. So I think that's something to watch, but also the Trump sort of what's happening with Trump, and that's also causing a lot of uncertainty in the markets. So where that happens is anyone's best guess with Trump. So I think if we think about things like critical minerals, Elon Musk is a major advisor for Trump. I don't think things like lithium will do terribly under Trump. You remember that Elon Musk is the poster child for EVs. So I think these are positive signs. But I think the resource market in particular is quite concerned about what Trump might bring to China and to commodity demand.
All right, I love that take that you've just given us. But obviously you've come to a mining investment conference for a reason. What metals or jurisdictions are on your radar right now for your subscribers?
Okay, so junior mining stocks mostly here. So that is one of our focuses at Diggers and Drillers. We are broad, so we don't just focus on gold or copper. We'll look at all the spectrum of opportunities in the commodity market. I think one area we're interested in is the value. So the value in critical minerals. So 18 months of heavy sell-offs in a lot of critical mineral stocks. I think there's definitely opportunities there, especially amongst the juniors, which have really been hit hard. So I think keeping an eye on any projects that may have a deposit, but maybe something that offers something a little bit different. How would that project look under a Trump? Maybe it has a project in the US, which could have an advantage. So just looking at projects that may offer something unique in the market.
Now, one of the things I love when I get to talk to a geo is just, do you have favourite rocks to explore for?
Rocks to explore.
Because I know you've done the hard yards, you've been in Africa, you've explored through Western Australia, like you're an exploration geo by background.
Yeah.
So what's your favourite one to go hunting for?
I think copper has always been there. So I was born as a sort of copper geologist. So early on in my career, in South Australia. South Australia is known for copper developments, and then also had the opportunity to go to Africa with Equinox Minerals when it was still around. It was taken over by Barrick. So I think copper, anything to do with copper is a real interest for me, and I think it just happens to be a really good time to be looking at copper from an investor's point of view as well. So all those kind of things have tied up well.
All right, James, so I've been reading about your content for a couple of years now over at Factual Daily, but how can people get basically in touch with you or find out more about what you do?
Okay, so you can just type in Diggers and Drillers into your Google search and I'm sure it will pop up there. Don't get confused with Diggers and Dealers, that will probably come up too. So two similar names. And I have a Twitter feed, I think it's J Cooper Geo. You can check that out as well. So yeah, different options.
And just to throw another domain name in there for everybody watching, you can also go to factual.com.au and you will be able to find James's stuff on there. James, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you and getting to talk with you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Shae. It's a pleasure.